Shams, how you doing? Sorry we made you watch the Montreal experience. It was certainly fantastic. What's going on in your world as you urgently, words per minute, tweet like you're Adam Schefter in the game?
Yes, we have news. I'm going to actually say it while I'm on with you guys.
Thank you.
There will be no further discipline for Victor Wembanyama after he elbowed Naz Reid in the face.
Everything about Anthony Edwards and the way he leads his team, the way he plays basketball, the way he answers questions, the way he's been authentic to himself throughout this entire time. And he's leading you, man. You're the best, Shams. Oh, we draft. Let's talk about draft really quickly. NBA draft, obviously a massive ordeal.
Are you going to ask me about Giannis real quick or no? You're going to ask me about Giannis real quick?
You tell me. Is there something about Giannis?
We do have some news on Giannis. I'll say this. I'll try to make it as shortened as possible. Sources tell me the Milwaukee Bucks are fully open for business on trades and offers around Giannis Antetokounmpo as we enter the NBA draft combine this week, and we're 6 weeks away from the NBA draft itself. Bucks owner Jimmy Haslam said just last week that there will be a conclusion to this saga. Been a 12-month ordeal for all of us.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Haslam said there will be a conclusion to this that will either result in him signing a long-term extension or a trade. But the conversation, any conversation that the Bucks are going to have with Giannis Antetokounmpo, from my understanding, it's going to be a very simple one. Do you want to stay here long-term and commit long-term in June? The answer from all accounts is going to be no. And at that point, the question is going to be, where does Giannis want to go? Where does he want to play for and commit long-term? Because he's got just one guaranteed year left on his deal. You guys know this, especially in the NBA. That gives a player of this caliber a ton of leverage, a ton of sway on where he ends up. John Horst, the Bucks general manager, has done everything. I'm talking about everything the last 10 years to try to put together a winner around Giannis. They've traded for Drew Holiday, all of their draft picks. They've traded a bunch of assets away for Damian Lillard. They did the largest stretch and wave of a player in NBA history when they stretched Damian Lillard's $113 million contract. They put that on their books for the next 5 years, and then they went out and signed Miles Turner to a $108 million deal. They did that all to try to win around Giannis. The reality has been setting in, though, for the Bucks, and now they're going to do their best to work with Giannis over the next several weeks, and there's going to be a bunch of teams. Miami, Golden State, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the Cavaliers, a bunch of teams playing in the playoffs right now, teams that are out of it. And we'll see over the next 6 weeks, as Jimmy Haslam said, what happens with Giannis.
Okay, I appreciate you still on the Giannis beat, as the Greek freak speaks through sources, his team, the team. I don't know who all leaks information, but I do appreciate that it seemingly...
I'll do it. Source
says from all angles. They got to get that figured out, obviously. And Jimmy Haslam of the Cleveland Browns and also University of Tennessee Volunteers, I do believe. He said he wants it done by the draft. When is the draft?
The draft is June 23rd and June 24th.
All right, we got some draft lottery conversations to have because I'll tell you what, I don't like it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Senior Insider.
I was there last night. Let me give you a quick rundown. Okay. The Wizards, the #1 overall pick.
2 games apiece. But back to Wemby and that ejection there in Game 4. Again, ejected very early on, 8 minutes left to go in the second. The earliest ejection for an all-star in a playoff game in the play-by-play era. The list just keeps going. That's his first career ejection, whether it's the regular season or the postseason. And that was the fewest points in a game in his career. And if you had a prop bet on Victor Wembanyama, I feel very sorry for you because that probably ruined your night, especially. Ashley Nicole Moss is back here with us. So, Ashley, we saw that go down. Wemby, doesn't feel like it was intentional. Heated moment. He elbows Naz Reid.
Oh, it was certainly intentional.
You think he meant it to go that far?
It was a wind-up. It was clear.
I don't think he wanted to get ejected.
He definitely did not want to get ejected. No, he definitely didn't want to get ejected. But Wemby's got to practice a little bit more decorum if he's going to throw the people's elbow.
Okay.
Because what happened
was, brazen with the
if you watch the replay, there is a moment where he brings the ball down, he has the ball, he pauses, and then elbows Naz. That Wemby stood up for himself. But there are moments, like I said this earlier, I'm all for the physicality. I'm all for players letting know, especially the young players, because sometimes you get picked on out there. Sometimes, they want to remind you that this is a grown man league and welcome to the big leagues, my guy. But I think you also have to think bigger picture. And the Wemby brings so much to the game that when he is not on the floor, the Spurs feel it, and that's exactly what happened in this game. You look at what the Timberwolves did, and they did it phenomenally. They responded, to Wemby's absence extremely well. They held the Wolves to 20 points in the third quarter, scored 28, got 9 points off of their turnovers, and had more points in the paint than them. All these things that possibly could have been avoided if Wemby was on the floor if you're San Antonio. So, Wemby, I understand you got to stick up for yourself and let them know you're no punk, but this is a playoff series and every game counts. So I'm kind of 50-50 on this.
Okay, we do have some breaking news that just came down. The league office has decided to not suspend or fine Wemby for that. That was a flagrant 2, by the way, in the second quarter of Sunday night's game where he elbowed Naz Reid. Are you surprised on the no fine aspect of it as well, or does this all check out?
Definitely surprised on the no fine, but also it is his first offense, so it might be the benefit of the doubt. He's also an all-star. He's Victor Wembanyama. You know, he's one of the biggest. He's one of the biggest prospects we have seen since LeBron James. I think there are a few things that come into play. I know people will not like it, but you know, not everybody drinks the same Kool-Aid. There are some of us who get better flavors because of, you know, what you bring to the table, and Victor Wembanyama brings a lot to the table. The series is not the same without him. I think the league knows that, but more importantly, all jokes aside, it is his first offense. This is not somebody who chronically goes around elbowing people in the throat. You got to give the young guys some grace.
All right, let's get back to the series because, as you mentioned, all of a sudden the Timberwolves have fought their way back. They even the series 2 apiece. You mentioned all the ways they have been able to do it. You also said it's been the most exciting series for all of us so far to really watch. How do you expect the rest of this to shake out?
Well, look, Wemby avoided a fine and, you know, a suspension. So he's coming back with a vengeance. I think he'll keep his elbows to himself. Look, the Spurs are a really good team at responding. And I have said this about San Antonio. They remind me so much, and I think it just has to do with the DNA of the San Antonio Spurs organization. They remind me so much of the Ginobili, Parker, Duncan Spurs in the sense that they're never rattled. They're never too high or too low. They're very even-keeled. And for such a young team, an inexperienced team, this was never going to be a walk in the park for the Spurs. But hey, you want to make it to the conference finals and you want to face the reigning champs, this is how you got to get there.
Yeah, so Game 5 is on Tuesday in San Antonio. Let's talk about the other matchup in the West where it's a little bit more lopsided. We have the defending champs in OKC taking on the Lakers. We might have to get the brooms out for the sweep here. Obviously, the Lakers are down 0-3. So what is next for this Lakers squad, especially if they have this early round, not early round, but not a deep playoff run? We know Luka's not playing, and then obviously a lot of question marks about what this means for LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I said that this series would be way more competitive if Luka was playing. It's unfortunate for them that he's not. Also, Denver kind of screwed them by winning their last game because they would be facing, you know, the Wolves in the first round versus the Houston Rockets and now the Oklahoma City Thunder. So their seeding also kind of screwed them in the process. But here's the thing. They have a lot of decisions they have to make. Austin Reeves, player option. LeBron James, free agent. Rui Hachimura, free agent. He's in the final year of his $51 million deal. And the biggest number that is kind of plaguing over the Los Angeles Lakers is $52.6 million, and that is what is the projected salary of LeBron James for next season. And the unfortunate reality is LeBron is 41 years old. He is phenomenal. So let me make that very clear. What we are seeing, we have never seen before. We've never seen this longevity, this productivity. We have never seen a player of his age still do what he has been able to do. It's simply not enough. The roster is too top-heavy. It was too top-heavy during the regular season, but you have cushion room when there's so many games. You don't feel it as much. And I remember sitting on this very set in the midst of their winning streak, and I said, this is not a championship team. This is not even a Western Conference Finals team. It is too top-heavy. And if LeBron isn't going to take some kind of a pay cut, and I'm not saying he has to, I'm saying in order to stay in LA, he needs to. You cannot build a team around Luka, around Austin Reeves, if that's somebody that you want to keep as well, paying one player as phenomenal as he is $52.6 million. That is money that you can get multiple two-way players, younger two-way players, that can really help this team and be a team that is more complete, more well-rounded. This is not about LeBron James and his skill set. It's not about LeBron James and his productivity or lack thereof. he's just one person, and it's just not enough anymore.
We'll see how it all ends tonight. OKC, meanwhile, with a huge chance, as you mentioned, to bring out the brooms. Tip-off 10:30 Eastern tonight. They look so dominant and on a path potentially to back-to-back titles. Right now, I mean, is anyone stopping them?
The Knicks are stopping them. Come on, Jordan.
You did say the biggest threat to the Knicks is not in the East.